So this is an interesting story. This is about a drug called Relief, and the story is called Relief too. And this is a pretty interesting storyline because of who's making it, which we don't know. It's a lot of speculation, because apparently whoever made this is not a human being, and it's just left to our imaginations. It's pretty interesting because it's not like a normal drug where you have your ups and downs, your highs and lows. Like if you were taking meth and you want, or speed or whatever, you want to, get all energized and stuff, but you may do bad things in the process. With Relief, apparently all it does is just give you relief, and it makes you feel happy and makes things all, sunshine, rainbows. And then by morning you are dying in an alley for some reason because I guess whatever this is made out of is very poisonous. There are a lot of interesting ways this is presented, like with characters in the story about how miserable they are with their own circumstances, like being a lawyer or being someone who's transsexual and trying to find the purpose in life, that kind of stuff. It kind of does put you into perspective that sometimes you just need a little relief, but maybe not in the way this story's trying to present. Although if it wasn't for the whole dying in the alley the next morning kind of thing, I could see myself taking this too. I mean, wouldn't you if you got a chance?
The repetitive bass pulsated from the inside of the club. Somewhat muted, it provides a fitting backdrop for the business to come in this back alley I call the Bazaar, as very few know of it. Only one item is peddled here. My item, Relief. Before you ask, I am not selling heroin or meth. Those drugs harm people. They promise euphoria and ultimately deliver pain and suffering. I don't sell prescription drugs either. Those pills destroy more people than illegal substances, believe it or not. No, what I sell can't be found in a pharmacy or on a street corner. I deal in an absolute. I dispute a release. You might be questioning why I deal in an alley behind a club if my product is so revolutionary. To which I say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The shadows allow for uninterrupted dealings, and the staff doesn't seem to mind that I'm there. They probably think I'm distributing ecstasy, but I'm not looking to hook anyone or create a dependent consumer base, and what I charge is only enough to recoup my expenses needed to create more relief. Each client I have is fairly treated, and I am in turn equally compensated. But enough about me. Let's focus on Jeff. Jeff is a lawyer. Not one of those ideals legitters you see on TV who attends one trial a week and then has 6 days to drink and sleep around. I mean a real lawyer. One who spends 20 hours a day researching case law in the mill to foreclose on someone's house, a tool to the banks and to his billable hours. Jeff is tired. Jeff is stressed out and demoralized from his job. Jeff needs relief. He arrives punctually at 9:30 p.m., bitching about his boss and his job, explaining how guilty he feels for forcing people out of their homes all day. I feel for him, I really do. He hands me the money, and I slip him relief. Jeff's despair quickly turns to excitement. He stares at the sky, billions of stars both far away and at his fingertips simultaneously. He jumps for joy, catching imaginary suns, arranging them in funny shapes, laughing to himself. Jeff has completely forgotten about the lives he's ruined, the homes he's broken, and the families he's shattered. Jeff wanders down the alley, away from the noise and the squalor. After some patient waiting, Joyce arrives at midnight. Joyce is a humanitarian worker. She spends most of her waking hours rebuilding homes in communities down Tijuana, where poverty and violence have all but decimated the populace. Joyce feels defeated and depressed. Every day she puts all of her effort into finding the system, only to see little to nothing change. For each house she builds, a car burns another one down. Joyce greets me with tears, begging for some relief. I supply her the necessary dosage and take the small compensation. Almost immediately, Joyce's tears are gone. She dances and frolics with imaginary children in a field of luxurious flowers. She experiences the deathless cornucopia of wealth and indulges the impoverished families who feast and celebrate through the night. She is no more aware of the crushing tragedy occurring across the border than she is of the homeless man half dead by the adjacent dumpster. Joyce exits shortly afterwards. Last is Terry, who shows up at 5 a.m. Poor Terry. Terry is a unique fellow, transgendered, as they call it these days. Terry is a good person, but Terry's family is very religious. There is no room for someone of Terry's disposition in God's house, so Terry now lives alone, trying to make sense of the world and where Terry might fit in. Such an existential crisis is hard for Terry. The cuts on Terry's wrists are enough to provide relief. But I can. Terry gobbles down the serving with reckless abandon. Terry doesn't dance as Joyce did, or grope at the air as Jeff did. Terry just sits, surrounded by all the loved ones and friends who previously didn't understand Terry's situation. Life is simple and good finally for a misunderstood individual. Terry cries a bit, then wanders off down the alleyway. My night's work now finished, I return home and turn on the morning news.
Shocking horror today as 3 individuals were found dead on an apparent overdose in a back alley on 4th Avenue. Each had traces of a powerful but unidentified cyanide drug in their bodies that ultimately stopped their hearts. Police have been trying to form connections between the persons, but they all come from different walks of life and no traces of the deal can be found. The sheriff has announced a joint investigation with the DEA to find the culprit as soon as possible.
I'm not a chemist. I'm not a pusher. Hell, I'm not even human.